Hello there, friends of Unity Joy of Life. The other day, I woke up irritated. Ever have one of those mornings where you just wake up annoyed? Well, that was me. And not only that, later that day I had to participate in something that already irritated me. And then, as if on cue, someone said something in this thing that I was participating in, as if on cue, they said something that just pushed my buttons. So naturally, I decided to share my wisdom. I launched into what I can only describe as my ego's State of the Union address. Yes, I laid it out, I explained, I justified, I made my case. And here's the strange part. Well, maybe it's funny on one level. Later that day, I decided to talk to people that would agree with me. Because nothing feeds the ego quite like an audience. They all agreed. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, totally. That's ridiculous. And then the next day, the phone rang, and guess what I did? I launched right back into that story again, and we fed each other's irritation like it was a potluck of outrage. And here's what I noticed. Every time I told the story, my ego felt bigger, but my spirit felt smaller. Because this is what I know for sure. Anger only asks one thing of you, of me, of all of us, and that is participation. It doesn't need facts, it doesn't need solutions, it just needs you to keep it alive with the rehashing of how outraged you are. Anger just needs your participation. So then I went to Reverend Beth Ann's class on the quest. Now, she was talking about the idea of now. By the way, you can participate in the class every Thursday just by going to unityjoyoflife.org. There is a link in our description below. Anyway, in her class, she was talking about how we keep dragging an old now moment into our present moment. And when she said that, I had this awakening that moment of irritation where I just launched into the State of the Union address, that moment was over. It was done. It was finished. And I kept resurrecting it. And I kept ruining my present by rehearsing and rehashing my past irritation. I was letting that moment that had already ended continue to live rent-free in my mind. And then this realization landed. And that is that one of our greatest sources of human misery is the quiet expectation that other people should know better. We spend so much time wanting for the world to behave sensibly, as if secretly they needed to agree and follow our rule book. But they didn't. No one signed our invisible contract on how to act properly or how to act according to Kathy, expecting people to think like you, to see like you, to react like you. So here's the freedom that I'm going to offer you today. You see, when something happens, a disrespectful word or a sudden disappointment or a rude interruption, or maybe you saw something on the news, there is this tiny space, a little space inside of you, and in that space, nothing has happened yet. Most people leap straight from stimulus to reaction, and then they wonder why their nervous system feels so rattled, why their peace has feels like it's been stolen, why our days feel kind of off. But right there, in that fraction of a moment, before the mind starts telling you its story, before the ego grabs the microphone, lives your freedom. Because in that space, you get to choose not what happened, but what you carry forward. And that choice is the doorway back to your peace. That choice, are you going to choose to carry that moment and rehash it over and over and over again, or are you going to just let it be done in that moment? The moment you stop demanding that the world do things your way, peace returns to you. Not because the world has changed, but because you did. And so now my new practice is when I feel irritation arising out of judgment, out of fear, out of anger, I pause. I ask myself, do I really want to carry this? Do I want to carry this into my next now? Do I want to give this moment more life than it deserves? And most of the time, now, I choose to leave it where it happened. My friends, the next time you feel irritation, annoyance arising, just pause. Take in one slow breath, and as you exhale, just silently ask yourself, do I really want to carry this into my next now? And if the answer is no, then just imagine placing that moment back into the past where it belongs. And you may even affirm, I no longer rehearse yesterday. I live fully in peace right now. Because when I stop carrying the reaction, what's left to disturb me? Really, when you stop reacting, what's left to disturb you? Until next time, I'm keeping the faith for you.